Hey everybody, Grandmaster Hafner here. Welcome to the Sebastian and Grandpa Show. This is my co-host, first degree black belt, Sebastian Hafner.
And this is my grandpa, Grandmaster Hafner.
Well, as you know, last week was sparring week here at Keith Hafner's Karate. And people start sparring when they earn the rank of green belt, so it's at the beginning of the second year. But did you know that some people are kind of nervous about free sparring?
True.
Yeah, they sometimes, see the advanced belts out there sparring, and it maybe looks a little frightening to them, or maybe they aren't quite sure how they would respond in that situation. First of all, everybody's padded with gear, right? And there's no intention to hurt the other person. You're just trying to outscore the other person. But what would you suggest if there's a kid, or maybe even a grown-up, who is being introduced to free sparring and feels a little nervous about it?
Well, I'd like to let you know that we are all hitting super softly. You should not think it's any wham, super hard hitting. It is very soft.
Yeah, and I think it's, kind of what, kind of what really makes it work is that it's not a competitive environment, it's an environment of friendship.
Very much.
So let's say you're standing there and maybe you've got your gear on for the first time and the gear feels kind of awkward and clumsy, and maybe it's your turn next to go out there and your knees are knocking a little bit. What should a kid in that situation do?
Well, you always have your teachers there, and you could ask for someone who is your height and who's, or maybe foremost, just like really good at like hitting softly, as I had said previously.
I think that's a good point, because there's always people around here to help, right? If you're nervous, you can always express that to your teacher or to another student, and I think there's always going to be somebody around here to help. Well, I think you'll agree that free sparring is pretty important
Very much.
to a student's training, because it really sharpens their reflexes and gets them used to understanding the actual application of the technique. So I like what you said, and I think that's good advice for anybody that feels a little hesitant about free sparring. See you next time.
Bye.
Hey, Grandmaster Hafner here. I'm here with one of our star students, third degree black belt, Fernanda Perron. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Fernanda's got an exciting story to tell, because she went on a real adventure starting last April-ish. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you did?
Yes, sir. So we started out going to Italy for a week because it was my parents' 30th anniversary. So we stayed in Rome, we went to Venice, so that was a lot of fun. And then I actually got accepted to do an internship in Germany for 3.5, 4 months. So, because I'm a mechanical engineer student, so I have to do the internship to figure out how it goes. So I went and I lived alone for 3 months. My mom stayed with me for the first month to get the apartment all set up. And then I was alone, just completely alone. I didn't know anyone. And I did it. I had one of the best times of my life. It was really fun.
Now this is in Germany.
Yes.
And where were you in Germany?
Stuttgart.
Okay.
So southern Germany.
And how's your German?
A lot better than I went to Germany with, because I did German for 6 years in high school and middle school, but then I completely stopped.
It's not the same, is it?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But just having the 2-year break of college,
Yep.
I completely lost the majority of it, but then I slowly got it back. And the person I was doing it with, he was like, yeah, you have a really strong basis for it. There are some things that you'll probably not forget. So.
Now in this internship, how much was devoted to work, and how much did you have free time just to explore and do whatever you wanted?
So depending on how long you stay working, they give you a certain amount of vacation days. So I stayed for almost 4 months, so they gave me 5 that you have to use before you leave. You absolutely have to. So, excuse me. So I went to Paris for a weekend, so I already used 3, and then I took 2 random days off. But then when you're actually working, so they have this flex time where you can go in anytime between 6 and 10 and then leave accordingly. So I worked 7 hours a day plus 1 hour for lunch.
Wow. So it's kind of like having a full-time job.
Yeah, exactly.
And have you ever had a full-time job like that before?
No, sir. I have
Okay.
not. So,
And what was the biggest surprise or the biggest brainstorm, the biggest revelation, the biggest takeaway that you got out of the whole thing?
just like how it feels living alone, like being completely independent. Like you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to be able to like I'm pretty good at managing my time. It's just completely different when there's like no one ever telling you what you have to do. Like even at work, I was like, okay, they told me I have to do this one thing, so I have to like I have to manage my time and do it and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was also very big. I mean, the other big thing is that everything's closed on Sundays in Germany.
Yep. It used to be like that around here. Did the academic training that you've done at the university so far, did that prepare you well for the type of assignments you were given in this internship?
Oh, yes, sir. So I was in the office, I was in the research and development for like the piston cylinder area of the engine. So I haven't really started my mechanical engineering courses until this year. So I didn't know a lot going in, but I also knew enough for what they wanted me to do. So what they had me do when I was in the office was do research for them on like hybrids, because their like main thing is like gasoline engines and like diesel engines. So they're not really like on like the track. They are on the track for electric and like hybrids, but like that's not their like priority. So they had me research it to see how it would affect them in the long run.
Sounds pretty important.
Yes, sir. So I put up a presentation for them.
Now the big question everybody's going to want to know is, did you see any martial arts? Did you do any martial arts? What is the state of martial arts in Stuttgart?
So there's actually a funny thing. Near my apartment, there was a school, like a Taekwondo school, and I would peek in every once in a while and I would see their basics, even though it was in a different language. I saw okay, that looks very familiar. So then sometimes I saw it and it looked like they were doing Form 10 at one point. Wasn't 100% sure. So I was like, oh. So then I was kind of thinking oh, maybe if I don't have anything to do, I should try and be hey, I do Taekwondo in America, and I was wondering if I could train something while I'm here. But I never got around to it because I eventually got caught up with other things. But I did practice at home to make sure I still remembered all the forms.
Sure.
And I ran almost every day except when it got too hot, because it got really hot. But I tried keeping in shape. I'm pretty sure I did pretty well. But karate-wise, yeah, I wouldn't do my forms enough to remember it. So.
How was the food?
Oh, it's so good. I really like German food. Everyone's oh, it's so bland, when they're German, but oh, it was really good. And also I learned how to cook a lot of different things, so I ate a lot of Asian food too, so that was really good.
Yep. Well, Keith Hafner's karate wasn't the same without you, so we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And for being on the show, we have a prize for you. It's your own silly putty.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Keith Hafner here. Thursday's our staff meeting day at 2 o'clock. That's our formal meeting. I guess we meet every day. But it's so nice out here on Main Street, I couldn't bear to have our karate boys be suffering through my meeting back at the school. So we're sitting here out front of Mongolian Barbecue. We were talking about Mongolia, that it's been here since 93 or 94, which is a pretty long run on Main Street. So well done, BD. We're also next to the former Felix Cafe, which is being rebranded as Regent's Field. We took a look inside just a while ago and
say hi to Deborah Brown.
Hey Deborah, how you doing? Do you come downtown very much? So they're furiously, I think, trying to get that place open because it says the story begins this football season. So we poked our head in there, and they've got some work underway. I hope they get their facility the way they want it in time for football season. We brought books, and so we were going to do some outdoor reading. I've got my Kindle where I'm reading a book about the founding of London. Let me show you what the other guys are reading.
Nicholas Nickleby by Dickens. This is some detective or mystery. Is it detective or a mystery? I never know.
Detective.
All right, detective Burglars Can't Be Choosers, Lawrence Block.
One of my favorites.
And I'm reading The Success System That Never Fails by William Clement Stone.
Oh, hey, I'm the cameraman. These guys have forever been talking about Elvis Cole, so I've got a novel to start today I'm excited about.
Terry asked if his book was detective or a mystery. Like, you know, we read a lot of mystery detective fiction. I guess all detective stories are for the most part going to be mysteries, but mysteries don't always have detectives in them. There's a whole bunch of mysteries that don't have anything to do with the detective world. So we read pretty regularly as part of a staff. Not necessarily every week do we allocate time for reading, but on a pretty regular basis. I know Master Terry and Master Jason and I have had, over the summer, we carved out some Saturday morning outdoor reading time. That was kind of cool.
Say hi to Lynn Greer.
Lynn Greer. Lynn, is that you from Briarwood Mall?
We got a heart icon.
How's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Well, anybody got anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.